What's up, everyone? Let's get straight into it. So today is another day on the journey of Know Thyself, and basically it's a series of personality tests, and we're taking them all together. Post your results and see together how accurate these personality tests that are out there actually are. Today's is the love language test, and I've heard of it before, but actually I've taken it before, but I don't remember any of the results. Just like all these other personality tests before this journey, I've never remembered any of my results, but the 5 love languages is a test to see what your love language is, like what you most often speak when you're showing love to others. And it's kind of interesting because if you don't know that by your by your spouse or by your significant other, then you might be loving them in a way that they don't, like they're not receiving it to the same level, because their love language on the receiving side is a different from what your primary gift is. Like if you're really good at giving gifts, say flowers and chocolate and candy and little knickknacks or whatever, but your significant other doesn't want any of that and doesn't care about any of that and really just wants to sit down and have a decent conversation with you, you're just spending all this energy and efforts and you're feeling defeated because you're not loving them in the best way possible. You're definitely loving them, and there's nothing wrong with doing those things. And when it comes to these 5 love languages, when you really think about it, you pretty much do all of them, but some of them you'll tend to do easier or more of. And you want to be able to take this test now, and also you want your spouse to take this one, or significant other, or if you're single, because it's good to know these things, and then the better understanding of it, you can apply them in real world conversations, and even people who are just friends, you can talk to them or do things to help be on the same level of the relationship for those love languages. Okay, so this test talks about 5 different love languages, and those are physical touch, words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts, and quality time. Physical touch doesn't have to be intimate. It can be as simple as hand holding, high fives, long hugs, stuff like that. Words of affirmation is basically encouragement, like, hey honey, thanks for making the bed. Hey, the house looks great, thank you very much. Hey, you're pretty. Hey, good job doing XYZ. Stuff like that, just encouraging words. Those do go a long way. Acts of service are just basically doing nice things like cleaning up the place, doing the dishes, washing the car, mowing the lawn, some of those things. But if I mow the lawn every single day, my wife might not think I'm showing her love by keeping the property nice. So that's where this type of test comes in, and you can find out what actually she relates to. The next one is receiving gifts, and we kind of touched on that earlier. Quality time, again, we kind of touched on that earlier. And that's just that face-to-face interaction, like the true connection of conversation and quality time. Sometimes quality time you don't even need to talk, but usually quality time is not spent in front of a screen. So that's one thing for me to improve on, because I tend to spend a lot of time on the computer or watching Netflix, and I think that's an area I can definitely improve in. So the love languages test only took about 10 minutes. There was no login. You did have to subscribe, but it is kind of neat to see where you align currently. This is one of those things where you're going to probably want to, depending on your results, depending on how much you like this, depending on how serious of a relationship you're in, you might want to take this on an annual basis. You can definitely see a difference of your love languages from when you're dating someone to when you're married to someone. And it's really interesting. So I'll be completely honest with you. I do remember one of them now that we're talking about it. I did have physical touch pretty high up there when we were dating, and as well as quality time. But now that I'm married and in a long-term committed relationship, physical touch is actually last on the list, and quality time is first. So just going through the list, it is possible to have multiple primaries, and don't get caught up too much in, oh, this one is my primary one, so I should only do that. No, you have actually all of these gifts, and you need to be exercising all of them, even though some just come more naturally. So the first one that on my list for my results was quality time. That was top on my list, followed by acts of service and words of affirmation. Those were tied. And then all the way down was receiving gifts and physical touch. So those were my results. Now you take the test, jump over to the community, and share your results. Definitely encourage you to take this one. I do really like this one. I would definitely put this one at a 9 out of 10 as far as personality tests go. And I do have, in my opinion, a pretty judgmental view about these personality tests. I don't think too many of them are really too great, but I think piecing them all together is beneficial. However, this one I think is currently an exception that I'm holding it to a little bit of a higher standard because it's definitely helped my marriage, and if you look through all the reviews on it, it's definitely helped a bunch of other people too. So encourage you to take it and then go through those next steps, and we'll talk soon. Thanks.